Friends, today we are going to talk about kitchen anti-trends. You are probably about come for me because I am going to tell you that white kitchens aren't really a thing anymore. No. Actually, it is true because most clients and designers are starting to choose more complex shades, 50 shades of grey, brown, and making some metallic facades, wooden elements. And white kitchens are indeed going out of style, especially Scandinavian styles, especially Scandinavian kitchens with frames, with wooden facades. This has been out of style for quite a while now. But if you are not ready to give up on a white kitchen, like me, my apartment also has a white kitchen. In fact, all 3 of my apartments have white kitchens. You can add some out-of-the-box elements, for instance, an accent wall, metallic upper cabinets, or conversely, lower cabinets and the upper ones white. Or some unconventional textured relief countertop. So you can sure do white kitchens and mix it. Now, there will be even more angry comments because I am going to tell you that the combined kitchen living dining room is also losing momentum. Why is this happening? Because the pandemic has introduced its new rules and adjustments. People started living in apartments, spending more time, for instance, working from home with something else. And first, you want to close off somewhere so the noise from cooking and everyday kitchen chores does not distract you. Then you want to close off the kitchen so it is not visible. And of course, you want to have a separate additional room where you can hide from people running back and forth, especially if you have kids. And of course, with a separate living room, you can create an additional sleeping area if you live in a small apartment. But what is important to know, you can make a transformer kitchen. That is, it does not always have to be separated, only when you need it. For instance, this can be done with sliding partitions. This is especially great to implement in apartments, and you can do it in country houses. You can make a glass partition, and through the kitchen, additional natural light will enter your living dining room. So use this technique. And when you need a combined kitchen living dining room, you can open the doors. When you want to close off, seclude, or hide someone in the kitchen, you can close the doors. And now I do not even know what is going to happen in the comments because I am going to tell you that
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
black faucets are not trendy anymore either.
No!
Why is this happening? Because a large number of designers started using black faucets everywhere a few years ago. In bathrooms, in kitchens, on the ceiling, in the bedroom, everywhere. Everywhere, black faucets contrast against the backdrop of a white kitchen. And that is why everyone is tired of them, yeah. What should you use instead? You can use colorful faucets, for instance, green, red, blue, some unusual ones. But if you are more conservative, you can go back to chrome faucets or neutral white ones, which will also contrast nicely against the 50 shades of gray kitchen. And now I am really going to knock you out, because I am going to say that corner kitchens are also out of style, and you should go for a straight kitchen. So why is this happening? Because we are all striving for minimalism in the modern world. We're experiencing an overwhelming flow of information, and we want to come home to simplicity and relax, but still feel cozy. And that is why we want fewer strange shapes, more simple forms. Consequently, straight kitchens are becoming more popular. How can you make a corner kitchen not look like a corner kitchen? Actually, you can just make tall cabinets in the corner, in the small part of the corner, the small part of the L. It will look like a full, complete wall. Also, since there is a trend to hide kitchens, you can, for instance, make a straight kitchen. And to hide all the impossible dishes lying on the table, you can make cabinets that close. What should people with a corner kitchen do? Well, live with it like I do. So nothing to worry about. Actually, all trends come and go, but you live in your apartment. So, do not worry about having a white corner kitchen with a black faucet. There is nothing wrong with that. I am just talking about trends, where the design world is heading with all its ideas and thoughts. By the way, you can write something about trends in the comments. Maybe you have your own thoughts on which trends are coming and which are going. Designers are so volatile that what's a trend today may become an anti-trend tomorrow, and then this anti-trend turns back into a trend. And here is a specific example. Now, tall, massive kitchens up to the ceiling have stopped being popular. And the trend, on the contrary, is moving towards open shelves where you can place all your favorite jars, other items. It is very convenient to take them, grab them, they are all inside, and it looks really cool. But there is a downside to this solution in open kitchens because, you have to dust wipe it, and in principle, you need dishes of the same color and you need beautiful jars so it all looks nice. And of course, if you are going for open shelves, you should not overload them because the overall trend is still towards clean interiors. And on open shelves, you can have a small amount of beautiful decor or some nice dishes. Everything else can be stored away. And a great solution is when you use, for instance, a kitchen without upper cabinets at all, and all your dishes are hidden in the left corner part, which goes from floor to ceiling, covered with solid, dense facades. Or another great trick, which I have already mentioned, is when your kitchen, including the upper cabinets, transforms into a wall. You just close it with doors and these facades hide, resulting in a flat wall and a straight kitchen. So now you will probably stop talking to me altogether because I'm going to say that some accent light fixture over the bar, over the table, or somewhere else is also becoming unpopular. What is becoming popular is the transformation, where you can make the room the way you want, for instance, by moving the dining table from the kitchen to the window. And since in our kitchens, typically, there is some hanging light fixture, if you move the table to the window, it will look very strange. Why is there a lamp hanging in the middle of the room? So in that case, you can use track lights where you can also integrate hanging lamps wherever you want. I mean by the window or the opposite wall. Or you can only use spotlights and completely rid the space of any accent lights, but then it might be a bit boring. And the third option is not to have any lights at all and live in the dark. Okay, this is a joke. You can add some lighting. Actually, interiors are done very nicely when the light is completely hidden. For instance, you can have the main light done with a powerful light-emitting diode, a strip which can also dim, turning into some sort of ambient light or change colors, creating its own vibe like a red kitchen.
My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
Well, friends, those were all the trends and anti-trends I wanted to share with you. Leave a comment, have discussions with other subscribers, and let us find the truth. Should you follow the trends or should you do what you like?